And we are live, and I am here with Trinity, player
Hello.
398 from Squid Game The Challenge Season
Yeah.
2, who hopefully won't quit before this interview finishes. Trinity,
Hey,
how are you doing today?
you never know. I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yeah, how have you been since the show is wrapped up?
It's been good. It's been a little crazy right when it wrapped up, but now it's kind of dying down, which I expected. But now I'm just trying to keep the following. You know what I mean? I gained
Yeah.
a big following. I think I'm one of like 4 players who actually gained like a gigantic following on Instagram and TikTok. So
Yeah, you got to keep that aura that you farmed, right?
right,
You
right, pretty
gotta
much,
keep that up.
pretty much.
Yeah. Have you been drinking lots of orange juice?
Yes. Actually, I was recording some orange juice content, I guess, before this. So I had all the orange juices that were sent to me in the back. I was like, oh, I need to take that down before I get on.
Well,
So,
people have been sending you orange juice, and you
yeah,
took it
two
down.
companies, two companies. And it's because I'm talking to them. I'm trying to, do a deal, business stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because it's the end of the year, though, they've been like, oh, it's the end of the year. We're not really doing stuff right now. We'll talk again in January. I was like, okay, sure.
Are you
So,
allowed to say which companies?
yeah, yeah. Literally, I have them right here. People know because I post about them.
Yeah.
Florida Natural and Tropicana.
Oh, you got the big ones. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So they've been contacting me. We've been emailing back and forth. I kind of been probably too persistent because I was like, I want an orange juice deal so bad. But
Dude, I was so hoping this for you because I was you had like the only funny confessional of the season, which we'll get to. We're gonna
okay,
get that.
yep.
I was like,
I love orange juice.
I was playing that soundbite all the
I
time.
love orange juice.
Dude, I'm glad you got that soundbite. That's crazy.
Orange juice for a year. Orange juice for a year.
Yep, yep, yep.
So how did you end up on Squid Game?
Yeah, so it's weird because I'm 26 years old. So when I was like 20 or 21, I will apply for a lot of random stuff, but I would never get it. Like you never expect to get anything, right?
Yeah.
So one thing is Survivor. I got to like the second round of like what's it called auditions, where they like interview and stuff, and then they never called me back. I was like, okay, whatever. I applied for The Voice, American Idol, and all that stuff just to do it. I was like, oh, it'll be fun. So when I saw the Squid Game season come out, the challenge, I was like, oh, that looks so easy. I could do that. Like that's so easy. So at the end of the show, they say if you think you got what it takes, sign up. So I did, and I forgot all about it. It was January of 2024. I signed up
Oh wow! So a year before filming.
a year before filming. And I was like, okay, I signed up. I did my little audition videos, like 2 minutes. They asked like, what would you spend the money on? Who are you? And what do you do? 7 or 8 months later, they called me back, and I thought it was a fake call. They was like, hey, we're from Studio Lambert. We like your audition video. We would like to continue the process. I was like, ha, 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 so funny. How do you have my number? And they were like, no, 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 for real. So that was like a 2-month process of like interviews, paperwork, and I finally got on it. I think they gave me the final call November 15th of 2024.
Wow. So you just wanted to be on like any reality show, kind of. You thought that
Yeah,
it would be like fun. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun. I was like, huh, why not? I mean, I'm never gonna get the call anyway, so why not just apply for
Yeah.
random stuff? And then I did. I was like, oh shoot. Now I actually got to think like strategy. You know what I mean? Going into it. So
What strategy did you think going into it?
I know. I'm glad you asked that because they don't show a lot of my strategic side in the show, like at all. Like none
Well,
of
that's
my
because you're a
relationship.
quitter.
I guess. I guess they were like, we're not gonna show anything. Don't give your stuff away. But one thing I did is I studied Maya a lot in the season. So
Oh, cool.
which means like what I studied about her, I was like, okay, you don't see her to the 6th episode, which could have been editing, but also she's probably playing like a low key game,
Yeah, she talked
right?
about that when I interviewed her. Yeah.
Exactly. So she played a low key game. She didn't really volunteer for anything. I was like, that's my strategy going into it. But also my strategy was not to be a big player, like everybody knows me type deal, but everybody will know me, which means like I made friends in the background. So like, let's say you're a part of a group, but I don't know your group, but I know you. So if that group
Yeah.
starts targeting me, you'll defend me without me being there. That was my strategic side of it all.
Yeah. I do feel that because I feel like you were pretty loved on
Right.
amidst everybody on the show. Like
Right. I didn't have really any beef with anybody that I know of, to be honest.
yeah.
So,
I mean, you were so good that they didn't want you to quit when you quit.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good game move.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have somebody in the chat. We have ShawMoney360. Much respect to Trinity for his decision on the show. Have you been getting people coming out saying that they respect your decision to quit?
Oh yeah, I've been getting a lot of DMs, and because I'm a Christian, and we can talk about that. I've been getting a lot of DMs from people saying like, hey, you helped me with my faith walk and all this stuff. So it's been a lot of love, but there also been a few hates. And to be honest, I only had like 2 or 3 like interactions outside the show so far, and they all been nice. They all been nice. Nobody been like, "Oh, you stupid boy."
So you're staying off of Reddit, basically. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't even know. I haven't really read Reddit.
Don't go on there.
Okay.
That's a good rule in general.
I low-key might go on it after I get off with you, to be honest.
Oh no. I put it in your head now.
Yeah, now you put it in my head. Now I kind of want to see it. So.
Well, have you, so you applied for like Survivor and stuff. Did you watch other reality? Did you watch stuff like others, you know?
No, not really. I just wanted to see, and I'm a nerd with like business stuff, so I like to see the background of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I got on, even when I was in the Squid Games, because I was in there for so long, so as the numbers get smaller, the producers kind of talk to you more, right?
Yeah.
So like behind the scenes, I'll be asking, so how many mics do they have? What do the cameras like? What are the type of cameras? Like blah blah blah. So like one camera during the dinner scene was a slow-mo camera, which was called the Trinity. The camera that they got was called the Trinity, which was really cool. But it's like this big old camera. So I was just a nerd about that. So I was trying to get on reality shows just to see the background of it. And I still am trying to get on other reality shows. Me and Netflix been talking a little bit. So
do you want to work on reality shows, or do you just want to be on reality shows so you can look at the cameras?
To be honest, I want to get I want to get on more reality shows just because I love to compete. And people are like, how does he love to compete? He quit. Trust me, I did an explanation video on YouTube that's out there. Like I got a tennis background and all that stuff. So I played college sports as well. So I love to compete. So I want to get on another one just because. But also I have like a long-term plan in my head. But we'll see where it goes.
Okay, so how do you compare wanting to compete with how you were with how you self-eliminated? Yeah,
so like I said, the entire game, they didn't show my competitive side at all, which is except during Mingle, and we can talk about that. Except during Mingle. But other than that, like I was in the background. You see me in the beginning, like clocking the twins. Like those twins had to do something to get that twin back. Like it makes no sense for him to come back, right?
Yeah.
So that's one. And then like on the back end, me and Jonty were really close in the beginning too. They don't show that. But there was a lot of chess moves I did in there, like especially in the later game, because it became very social after top 22. Not really the competitive side, but very social. So
okay. Well, let's go in order, and then when we get to elimination, we'll dive into it. I see what's going on here. Okay, so what part did you play in the pentathlon?
Yeah, so in pentathlon, I did the stone throw, the stone toss, or whatever. That was very easy. I told my group, because it was me, Kelly, Dan, Jonty, and Isaac. I forgot all their players' number. Kelly was 263, Isaac was 455, Jonty was 118, and I forgot Dan's number.
Yeah, and 263 was the character that you wanted. It was the player that you wanted to sacrifice for in Mingle, right?
Yeah. So because me and her were like day one, so we met the first day we were in the dorms, like literally the first day. We don't know why, we just gravitated toward each other. So we were like, okay, we're gonna stick with each other throughout this entire thing. But when it came to the pentathlon, so Isaac was kind of starting to cry because he was stressed about what he was gonna do. Because everybody was like, Kelly was like, I got Ganji or whatever it's called, because she's been practicing that outside the games. I was like, I could do the stone throw because I play disc golf. It's not that hard, right? Especially like putting. It's like putting in disc golf. Jonty was like, I got the cards. That's easy. And then Dan was like, I guess I'll do the kicking thing. So Isaac was like, I don't know if I could do the stone or the cup.
The ball in the cup? He was upset about the ball in the cup, the easiest one?
He was very stressed. And I told him, I was like, Isaac, I could do that if you want me to. I can do anything if you want me to. What do you want to do? He's like, no, I think I'm confident. And then that's when Kelly was like, Kelly was like, Isaac, you need to pull it together. Like, we got to play this game.
Yeah.
And then also Jonty gave like a little speech. So we just like locked in and we went fast. I mean, we got done like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Like,
I bet once Isaac started doing it, he was like, oh, this is probably the easiest one. I say because when they went, because there were 2 teams that had 4 people and they took away ball in the cup. So I assumed that it was the easiest one. Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm not coordinated, or good at like, I have huge hands, so I couldn't do like the fucking house of cards. So I'd be like, give me the ball in the cup.
Really? I would think the ball in the cup is the hard one. I would have done the house of cards.
I just think you would get lucky. I could get lucky.
True.
The ball could just end up in the cup.
True. That's low-key true. I didn't even think about that.
I'm just like, I can just keep flinging it. Eventually, it's going to fucking end up in there.
Right. And the crazy thing is, Isaac got it in 3. Like, he got it in 3 tries.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do that. You look like you're capable.
Right, I'm like, what were you worried about? So after he got it in 3, I got the stone toss in like 2.
Yeah.
Kelly got the dice thing in 1. She got literally 1 try. Jonty got the card stacking in 1, which was easy. And then Dan got the kicking game in like 4 or 5. So we literally flew by it like it was nothing.
Nice. That must have been a huge relief. That seems like a super stressful game.
Yeah, it is, because you're looking at the other team. Like, the other team is over there, so you can see them.
Yeah.
And like, the other team is also your alliance, because the way they did it, they was like, they didn't tell us what the game was. And they were like, in the white room, they said, get in a group of 10. So we were like, okay.
Oh, let's get with our alliance.
Right. So we said, okay, now sit on the ground and on these dots. There's like white dots. You can't see on the show. But okay, so we sat in a line. I'm just thinking, and they don't show this. This is my strategic shot, because I'm thinking of everything. I'm like, I'm low-key an overthinker, right? So I'm just thinking of everything. I'm like, what game are we about to play? This doesn't make any sense. It's not Chutes and Ladders. There's too many people for that. I don't know why everybody's talking about Chutes and Ladders at that point. But I was like, there's too many people for that. I was like, the only game I can think of is Pentathlon.
Oh, wait, hold on. So you guys were thinking about Chutes and Ladders. Is this because of the designs on the walls?
Yes.
Nobody has talked about this before to me, so that's why I'm pausing. Can we talk about this real quick?
Yes. So in the real show and also last season, the designs on the wall tell you what game you're about to play, or future games, right? So the first thing everybody because everybody in our season gets to go in a dorm. We don't have to play a game and then get to the dorm. Everybody is there for a split second before the first game. So I see like people are walking around. I'm walking around with Connor. I forgot his player name. He got out in O, so he got out first game. But we're walking around the dorm, just like kind of like sizing people up, figuring out who people are. But we're also behind the beds. You can see the designs of the games.
Yeah.
So like people are trying to break down. One of them was like a ladder. I'm like, oh, Chutes and Ladders is going to be played at some point.
Yeah.
That's all that could be like done. So everybody else had that theory too, because they was like, oh, they're not going to play Mingle. That's too violent. Like, they're never going to play Mingle.
Oh, so Mingle was like a total surprise.
Oh yeah.
Were there any fake games? Because in season 1 they had Tug of War up on the walls, but then they ended up playing Battleship. Were there any like tricks on the walls?
To be honest, I can't remember.
But I feel like you would remember, because there would be like such a surprise. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I can't really remember, but like when we were sitting in that line to play Pentathlon, I was like, what is going to happen? And in my gut, I was like, well, they play Pentathlon in the real series, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I looked down the line. I said, Kelly, they're going to split us right in half. I have a feeling they're going to split us right in half. Like, and then this is also a leak. They accidentally, I don't even know if I should be saying this, but they accidentally for like 0.2 seconds showed it on the screen. So it's like they showed it like as like on that screen, because in the first game you see us looking at the other team, and they showed it like for literally 0.2 seconds.
It was just like the empty pentathlon.
Yes, by accident. It was like 0.2 seconds. Like, I mean, it was like bloop, bloop. And everyone was like, and that's when I was like, y'all, we're playing against each other. It's like, no, we're not. No, that's not the game. That's not the game. I was like, guys, let's be honest. They're going to split us right down the middle. And sure enough, we walk in the pentathlon, and they was like, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild stuff. So, what was did you have a strategy for catch, and where did you end up in line?
So the crazy thing about catch, and this was a very controversial point for the Twins. This was when the Twins kind of sealed their fate, right?
Yeah.
Because the Twins were in my group. So it was the Twins. So all I remember is like the Twins were in my group, my friend Kelly, and Vanessa, actually, the blind girl that was also in the finale.
Yeah, I just interviewed her. She's great. I love Vanessa.
She's amazing. She's Canadian. Of course she's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She has an edge though. She does, you know? Like, she's funny.
She was on Big Brother. Like, Big Brother Canada. Yeah. So like, she's smart. And I caught that early. But so while we're discussing what the Devil shows, we got to discuss the order in the group. And this was like the most, because I'm thinking I'm athletic. I don't mind. I don't care where we're at. Right. But we also didn't know what the ball was going to be.
Yeah.
Like we were thinking,
Oh, yeah.
right? We were thinking it could be different sizes, one same ball. So the twins were like, "Hey, y'all," or one of the twins was like, "I don't know which one is which," but he was like, "Put my brother up there because he saved y'all. He should be first." And Kelly was like, "No, that's not fair. We should put all the older people up front, save them first, and then more athletic people in the back." And I agreed, but we only had like 5 minutes to decide like the order, and we had to run to our spots, or something was going to happen. We don't know. So we didn't really figure anything out. We just kind of panicked and ran to spots. The twins were up front. You see twins, Vanessa, and me and Kelly were like in the middle, which I was fine with. Like, so because I'm athletic, Kelly, she's also athletic. So I had to throw to Kelly. And then I think there was a musician in front of me from one of the counting stuff that happened. So, or somebody in front, it was another long haired guy. So I was like, and I was telling him, as long as you throw it high, I will catch it. Don't worry about it. And he said, okay. I was like, just please, I don't care if it's long, short. If it's high, I'm going to catch it. He was like, okay, trust me. I was like, okay. And he was a little older. So I was like, oh God.
Oh, God.
I was like, just throw it high and I'll go get it. So he threw it high. I went to go get it and I threw it to Kelly. Like, I wasn't worried at all. My only strategy was like, just throw it high. I was telling people to throw it high.
Yeah, that is the way to go. Yeah.
I did have one strategy because the way it looked is diagonal, right?
Mhm.
And if you know how to drive, like if you know anything about driving, the fastest thing to do is go straight. That's how you get to the fastest point, is straight. So I was trying to tell people who were in the further back to tell the person to throw it in the middle of the gym. So like if this is line, throw it in the middle. I was like, it's easier to go this way than diagonally that way. But no one listened to me. Because it's a shorter distance this way than that way if he throws it short. But
so about driving, you said?
So like when you drive when you drive a car, when you get directions, right?
Yeah.
From point A to B, the fastest way is just straight.
Oh, like the hypotenuse. Yeah.
Right. So if just like the throwing, it was in diagonal, and the fastest thing is a straight down the middle. So it's easier to run this way, shorter distance to run this way to run that way.
I get you. Yeah. So you're not running towards the ball. You're running where you catch the ball. Is that
right.
what you're saying?
All you got to do is side shuffle 2 steps.
Yeah. I like that thought. But everybody was just running towards like where
everybody
the
was
ball's
just kind of
coming
panicking.
from.
Yeah, I was like, guys, if you just throw it high in the middle, it's easier to go this way than that way. But
I also think that people should have used their chest as like a backboard more, because you're kind of. I remember being taught in gym class not to do that, and I was like, in this case, I would have been pulling into my chest. Yeah,
and fall back. Like
I'm like, use every part of your body. If you get a bad throw, just
right. So that game, it wasn't the only hard part. Was that game lasted like 10 hours, so you're like sitting there just like tired, bored, hungry.
Yeah. Well, were they like pausing to like do different filming things? Is that why it took so long, or is it just like the nature of the game?
It's just a long game.
Yeah.
A long game. Because I don't know, because the game was either going to stop when everybody caught the ball or when 16 balls were dropped.
Yeah.
So and you got people like trying to plead their case not to get it thrown to them, and so it just took so long.
Yeah. Next game. Did you have any involvement with the nesting doll, the Russian nesting doll?
No, not really. Mm-mm.
Yeah. My strategy: stay out of it. Yeah.
The only thing I did strategically in that was talk to Natalie, because I never talked to Natalie really before that, and for some reason my gut was telling me to go up and talk to her. Literally, just go up and talk to her.
Is this before she got the doll? Because
right before she got the doll.
Yeah.
Right before. So I went up and talked to him, like, hey, like, how you doing? Like, blah, 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 blah. And we were talking, and we briefly talked between sets as well. And she said, I don't know how we connected. Oh, because we're both from Kansas City. Right. So she and Kelly was low-key worried that Natalie might have picked her to eliminate because Kelly never talked to her. I was like, Kelly, you're fine. I know her. She's not going to eliminate you. She knows you're my fan. And literally she didn't. I was like, oh, thank God. So
yeah. Okay, let's get to Mingle.
Right.
All right. First question. I'm going to ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Was Mingle scripted?
It was not scripted by any means. By any means, it wasn't scripted. If it was, I needed some acting job right now. I want to get on the movie. So,
but you were holding hands.
So that part, I didn't want to quit. Because I'm like, there's no way we're going to add this, guys. Like, what are you talking about, Rebel? So when people started yelling, oh, everybody hold hands, I'm like, I'm not doing that. What are y'all talking? Like, we're not going to get out of this. No way. Whether you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make no sense. And I remember the player I played against marbles with, Manel, player 181. She was like, Trinity, we're not running to a room. I said, yes, we are. I was like, I was like, yes, we are. I was like, if they call two, we're running. She's like, no, Trinity, I'm not going with you. I was like, I will pick you up. You only weigh like 100 pounds. I'm running with you.
Yeah.
And then luckily we didn't have to run, but I was like, because think about it. Everybody's saying, oh, we're not going to run. No, we're not going to run. The first person who runs, everybody else is going to panic.
Yeah, it's going to.
So,
yeah, so you might as well be the first person. Yeah.
You might as well be the first. That's my thought. I was going to run without her and hope somebody ran into my room. So,
yeah. Wait, so what happened? There's this point where you end up in a room, and then the way it's presented to us is it seems that Kelly, player 263, it looks like she's about to be eliminated, and you want to leave the room that you're already in. What happened here?
So you want me to tell the full story?
Yeah, full story.
Okay, so what happened was, so before that, let me go back to the beginning of Mingle. Like I said, no one thought we were playing Mingle. I didn't know Marcus had the clue that whatever. No one knew that really, except Kelly knew that. So as we're walking up to the studio, I look up because I see lights like flashing. I'm like, because I was like, what the heck? I look up, I was like, Kelly, look up, bro. I said, we're playing Mingle. And I told the person in front of me we're playing Mingle. He's like, no, we're not. No, we're not. That's too funny. I was like, guys, look up. We're playing Mingle. And they're like, everybody just gets quiet. But Marcus, I think that's his name, the big football player guy, Marcus knew we were playing Mingle. So he already had his group, and he told a few other people too. So everybody was getting their groups together, right? And so before we walk in, the producer's like, big reactions, oh. And I know where we're about to go into. I'm just thinking, me and Kelly are screwed because we don't really have a group. Our alliance got out in pentathlon. There's only two of us, right? So as we're walking in, me and Kelly are kind of like in the back. Everybody walks in, and then Marcus tells Kelly, hey, we just need one more. Like, just come with our group. And Kelly's like, no, I'm not leaving Trinity behind. No. So everybody else has like a group of like 12, 9. Me and Kelly walk in by ourselves. It's just two of us, literally alone. And if you know Mingle, you just should count your days then. Because if you walk in just two people, you're done. So low-key, I start getting mad and frustrated because I'm like, what are we going to do? And Kelly again, she goes like, Trinity, stop it. Get it together right now. She's like, I will figure it out. We'll figure it out. So we get on the little platform thing, and she literally figures it out. We shimmy our way into a group of 7, so that makes 9, right? So at that point, Kelly's like doing the math. She's doing the negotiating between groups and everything. Like, so is keeping our group alive, literally. Yeah. She's like doing the math, negotiating, everything. So, because once you're in a room, you can do the math. Okay, 4 people got eliminated. This is the numbers they're going to call next. Boom, 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 boom. So then we plan for those numbers. We get back on the platform, and she's negotiating with the twin and Austin, the guy who had a disadvantage who's like attached to each other.
Yeah.
She's negotiating with that group. That group said they had 6. They only need 1 more for 7 if they call 7. I was like, okay, perfect. She said, Kelly will go with them, and I will keep my 7, right? Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I think, because that's 8. Blake, so there's another player named Blake. He was our 9, but he was so iffy between groups, so we counted him. If not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they had 6. She's going to be her 7, or their 7. We had our 7, original. And I looked at him, or his name is Tommy, and I asked for forgiveness already. I said, Tommy, do you have Kelly? I was like, do you have Kelly? You swear? She's like, yes, we got him. We got Kelly. He didn't know, like, the other 2, Peter and Kareem, was going to screw them over. He didn't know that. He's like, Trinity, I promise I got Kelly, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, you better have her, because if not, we're going to have some problems outside of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So as the thing is going around, me and Kelly are like, please don't call 7. Please don't call 7. Like, we knew it was either going to be 9 or 7. Like, we knew. And sure enough, that thing called 7, and I was like, okay, we run. I'm like, I'm running. I count my people, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm 7, and I close the door and lock it. I'm like, oh, guys, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, literally, I hear a faint, like, Trinity. I'm like, who's calling my name? Like, what the heck? I look out, and it's Kelly. I'm like, shoot. So the first thing in my head, I go like, well, they can't touch me, because what they don't show, which they won't show, is the producer saying, like, the rules. We always had rules before we play the game. The game girl will come out and tell us the rules with her notebook.
Yeah, standards and practices, yeah.
Right. And then the thing, it says you cannot touch another player without their consent, right?
Mhm.
And you know, it's Mingle. Like, who's gonna follow that, right?
Yeah, for like $5 million. Yeah.
Literally. So in my head, I'm like, and I made a split decision. So I was like, okay, if I leave, somebody was gonna panic and just follow me. So then that would give them their two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody's gonna panic and just leave the room and run with me, right? So I go to open the door and I don't see the girls holding me back. All I see is Leon in front of me, like 172. All I see is him. So everybody in the comments saying, why were you yelling at him and not the girls? It's because I didn't feel them and I didn't see them. So I was just yelling at Leon. I was like I was trying to get out the door or whatever. I was like, she needs one, saying like one more.
Sorry, people were mad that you weren't yelling at women. That's a new one for me. Why did you yell at the women?
Well, the comments were saying, why didn't he yell at like the girls who were holding him? I was like, one, I didn't feel them. Like I didn't feel them at all. Like
Sorry,
in that,
this is a new complaint for me.
dude, like I said, my comments have been crazy, especially after the first episodes aired and the next 4 didn't come out yet. Everybody was so mad at me about getting Leon out. I just didn't feel him. And like me and Leon are like in a shoving match. They don't show any of this, but we're like in a shoving match at this point. And I'm trying to get out the door, blah, blah, and it was just too late. And then she gets eliminated. So at that point, I just was like on like demon time. And I was like, I don't care what happens. And I was yelling at them. They don't show us. I was like, guys, we just like lost our numbers person. We just lost our negotiator and numbers person.
Yeah.
What are we going to do now? Like, we're actually screwed. Like,
protest, like the script says.
Bruh. I was like, when we walked out the room, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what do we do? And I see Kareem like walking past me, and I remember he's very smart. And mind you, I didn't know that what he did until I watched it back. Like, I didn't know that until the show came out. So I see Kareem walking by, and I'm like, that guy's smart. For some reason, I remember he's smart. So I yell at him. I said, Kareem, you're with us now. You are number person and negotiator. Figure it out. He said, okay, if I have 7, if I have 9, we can figure this out. I was like, okay, think. What number is next? I'm like yelling at him. And like I said, Blake, the iffy guy, Kareem was like, if I have a number of 9, I can divide everything that's going to be rest of the game if we have 9. And we look at Blake, and we're like, Blake, what are you doing? And Blake was like, I don't know. I promised this group. And I yell at Blake. I said, Blake, get out. Like, just get out. Just if you're with us or not, just let us know now. He said, oh, I'm not. I was like, okay, then bye. Because he was messing up our numbers. Like, we had to think fast. And then Kareem just got us through the game. And the last number that's called, ironically, is 7, right? Literally the last number. And I forget that we added Kareem to our group. So you see us run to the room. I'm like, why do we have 8? I'm like, what? I'm like, we're counting like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, who's 8 that's not supposed to be in here? And then that's when you see me say, Leon, get out. You owe me, blah, 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 blah. And then by the grace of God, a faint voice said, we need 2. And Leon and another player ran out.
Yeah.
So all we needed is 1. And I see Peter sitting on the stairs. They don't show this. Peter's like sitting on the stairs because he thought he was out. He was just like this. I see Peter. I said, Peter, we need 1. And he just darts to the room and like dives in the room. I go to close it, and Leon rips the door back open, like trying to get back in. And we get in like another shoving match, like, no. Yeah, and then I finally get the door closed literally after like the last second, and we're safe. That's the whole mingle.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I felt like did people think that you were trying to self-eliminate in your comments and stuff?
I think so. People thought I was trying to self-eliminate during mingle, but I wasn't. I was
that was my impression kind of of the thing. Yeah.
I was like, if I can get out, somebody was going to panic and follow me. And I was also trying to convince Manel, player 181, to leave with me because we were friends before that a little bit. And she knew Kelly. I'm like, what are you doing? You know she's our number person. Like, let's go. And she's like, no, Trinity, no. I was like, and then after Kelly got out, Manel goes like, Trinity, I'm so sorry. I should have went with you. I'm like, should have? Like, it's too late now. Like, we're done. But anyway.
Trinity, you're a good storyteller and a good person to interview. I feel like you ended up on the wrong show, kind of. Because Squid Game has the saddest, most boring confessionals. I'm like, you would be so good at confession. I mean, you did have that good orange juice confessional. I'm interviewing, and I'm like, I wish this show had good confessionals.
You don't understand.
We got to get you on another show. You'd be given the best confessionals.
That's what I said. But here's the thing. I did have
why you got cast. Yeah.
I had a lot of interviews. And a lot of confessional time. They just never shown.
Yeah.
Literally.
Because they just show us like sad stories the whole time.
Yeah, and I'm like.
And you're like, I love orange juice.
they still laugh. My friends talked about that. They said after you talked about orange juice and they heard a doom because a confessional was about to come.
Yeah.
They thought it was gonna be like a serious confessional of me, and then it's just me talking about orange juice. I was like,
my favorite moment of the season.
Literally, it's a lot of people's favorite moment, and I'm just trying to capitalize off of it. I'm like,
you
dude,
should. That's
bring me a deal, bro.
For everyone, that's how the interview happened because I messaged Trinity and I told him I want to help him get orange juice.
Well, hey, I'm just saying things are being done. Hopefully, it works.
Let's do it. Luckily, he has it covered, but maybe this could even help. So, who did you face in marbles, and what game did you play?
Yeah, so I faced Manel in marbles, player 181, and she kind of got through the game. She's been getting through the game. I don't know her strategic plan at all. I don't know, but she's barely showed in the show. But so the crazy thing about this is marbles. You get to pick what game you want to play, right? And once I was teamed up with Manel, I was like, okay. In my head, I'm like, I know she's not athletic. Don't take offense to that, but I know she's not athletic. So I was like, if she picks a chance game, I'm not playing. I'm gonna negotiate. But if she picks a throwing game, I'm just gonna agree and act like I can't throw. That's literally what happened.
Wait, didn't she see you in catch? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what she was. I don't know. So we walk into marbles, right? And this is a day after Mingo. So what they don't show, we get back to our dorms and they make us sleep on the opposite side of our, what's it called? Who we're playing in marbles the next day. So we sleep on the opposite. So we go into marbles and I'm just thinking, okay, I'm going to let her pick the game so she can seem like she has control over it, right? The first thing she says, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. The first thing she said, she was like, do you want to play a throwing game? I said, okay, yeah. I was like, and she was like, so I was like, and I asked her, I was like, so what are the rules though? Because I want to make sure she said, okay, let's throw in that bucket over there. And the bucket's about this big. Huge, like that big around.
So it's like a foot or two for the audio listeners, yeah.
Yeah, like a foot or two round circle, the easiest thing to throw into the world. I'm like, okay. I was like, how far do you want to stand away from it? She said, let's stand over there. And it's about 10 feet away from it, right? Mm-hmm. I said, okay. And it's up against this door, right? I said, okay, do you want to use backboard or no backboard? And she said, no backboard. I said, okay. Do you want to alternate or go all of us just want to, just do all of our marbles at one time? She said, let's alternate. I said, okay, bet. I said, do you want to go first or me go first? She said, I'll go first. So I'm making it seem like she's picking a game, but I am. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm doing a suggestion.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
So she goes I was like, okay, is this the game? We got to check on it. Is this the game? She said, yes.
Do they have the standards and practices people come in for marbles and make sure that the games that you pick are okay? How does that work? Did they still have that happen? No. Okay. No.
So they tell us the rules beforehand. You got to pick the game before the time is up. You got to pick all that stuff. But the game is up on you guys. It's on you.
Yeah.
So when she said all that, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. This is going to be easy. She throws the first marble, goes so long. And in my head, I'm like, it's over for her. Yeah. And I start teeing off. I mean, I'm getting everyone in. And she looks at me, she's like, Trinity, I didn't know you were good at throwing. I was like, I was going to tell you that. Why would I have told you that? And she's like, why did I pick? You hear her saying in the show, why did I pick this game?
Yeah.
And at one point, I started teaching her how to throw in the middle of our game. I'm like, if you just line up the elbow, if you line up the elbow and you follow through, it's going to go in. And she starts making it, but at that point, it's too late.
Now she's really good at beer pong. So, if she goes to a college party, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, Trinity, I cannot believe I picked that game. I was like, me either.
Yeah.
but that's how that went.
Wow. I have a small question I thought about. When you guys are going in between the different games to the different studios, are you ever outside?
Yeah. So that's the one time we went outside is to walk to the different studios. Mm-hmm. And everybody looked forward to that because you're in this dorm for so long.
Yeah.
You don't know the time. You don't know what day it is. My birthday was in the game, my real birthday. It was the day before Eric told his
You didn't lie about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, but I'm kind of glad that happened because he took the light off for me. And I was like, everybody did sing me happy birthday. I was like, okay, thank you. And I ran to the bathroom. Right. But walking in between the dorms, you do get to see outdoors. I remember walking outside and I just look at the sun. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, oh, this feels so nice. Or when it's nighttime, I'm like, okay, I know it's nighttime. That means we're about to go to bed. Probably.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't blindfold you guys. That seems like something that they would do. You know what I mean?
I thought they would, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see what is next coming up here. Okay, we're here. So you never considered being a monitor, right? When it happened?
No. Well, yeah, I did. I'm gonna drink.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Oh, he's drinking orange juice, guys. Product placement, Florida Natural.
My bad. So going into the top 22, and this is actually when I had my first interview. I had my first interview in top 22. I never had.
You had never been interviewed before.
No, before that, no.
Interesting, because they were busy with the influencers, with the twinfluencers, and all those people. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And I don't think they thought I was gonna make it that far, to be honest. But
why do you think they didn't think you were gonna make it that far?
Because I was playing such a low key game.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't making any noise, big wise. So so when the hall monitors came up, me and Mackenzie became really good friends. After Kelly got out, I remember talking to Mackenzie like a few days in. I was like, okay. And I saw her walking. I was like, okay. And I literally said this. I was like, me and you are friends now. And she said, okay. So we picked the same bed beside each other. And when they did the hall monitor vote, I was like, Mackenzie, I think I want to do it. She said, no, Trinity. You haven't volunteered for anything this far. Like, why would you do it now? And that means, hall monitors means bad. Anything in Squid Games, what good falls immediately bad after. And she was right. Right. Yeah. So I was about to say me, but then I was like, I'm good. Because I probably would have been picked. So.
Oh, you think they would have? Yeah, if you had volunteered, they would have been like, we trust Trinity. Yeah.
Right. And I'm glad I didn't because, what happened. But yeah, that was a crazy. But this, like the hall monitor thing and that game they had to play against those 3 other people was me and Mackenzie's big strategic move that they did not show. And it's insane that they didn't show it.
What happened?
So, again, hall monitors happen. They're eating good food. I'm a big bag. I see the food. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, so me and Mackenzie, we were just talking because we needed to distract ourselves. And we were like, what? We was like, who are the next 3 players we need to get out? That's very big if we had a chance. And we said Matt,
the cop. Yeah.
The cop. Kareem, because he's smart, because he came in bragging about how he would beat Blake in marbles. You don't do that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, it was just some psychology guy. He's Australian, I was bad accent. But he's like, so we said Matt, Kareem, and then Greg, because we had a task to do. And Greg in my room, we got a coin. They don't show this too, but we had like a chore to do. And me and Greg did a chore together with like 3 other players. And we got a coin. And me and the other players decided to use that coin to get a snack out the vending machine and share with everybody. But Greg was like, we keep the coin and don't tell anybody. And mind you, the top 22 is a very social game. If they would have found that out, bro. So me and Mackenzie were talking about that. And a producer pulls me out the room and goes like, and they're from London. They were like, we heard you and Mackenzie talking about strategy. Can you do that again, but in front of the camera? And we're like, oh, yeah, we can. So we go to the hall room, like to the bathroom. We sit there right in front of a camera, and we're talking about it. Like, we think we should get Kareem out, Greg, and Matt, just because of these reasons, blah, 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 blah. Max, the hall monitor, walks up while we're talking, and we're like, oh, shoot, we're cooked. And we tell him, we're like, hey, Max, this is who we think needs to be gone. Matt, Kareem, and Greg, because of these reasons, right? Matt's a cop, Kareem is smart, and Greg, he's playing cutthroat, right? Which you got to do, but still, it's a social game. You know what I mean? So literally later that day, you see in the show they're saying, oh, hall monitors, come to this room and pick 3 people. And by the book, Max just goes like, boom, 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 those 3 people in.
Whoa.
And me and Mackenzie I look at Mackenzie, I was like, Mackenzie, we just did that. She said, shh. So.
Wow. Why did you think you were cooked when Max was walking by?
Because I didn't know where he stood with those people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Max he's from California. And if you think of California, that's Max. Like he's very like,
yeah, I got that vibe, yeah.
Yeah, dude, like he's hilarious. I call him Zac Efron because he looks like Zac Efron.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to talk about the big thing that happened, which is they are served orange juice at breakfast, and this confessional happens. I'm going to play the clip.
Okay.
I love orange juice. I don't know, orange juice is so good. Like it completes the breakfast. You can have it at lunch. You can have it at dinner. Literally, this past Christmas, one of my coworkers got me a whole case of orange juice. It's just something I love. I don't know. I'm like, man. once I win, if I win, or whatever you want to say it, with the money I have left of it all, orange juice for a year.
Okay, we need to break this down. First of all, when your coworker gave you that orange juice, had you ever had orange juice before?
Yes. So I used to during the time of the filming, I used to work at a sales job, like at a desk all day, 8 to 5, and like they had a vending machine downstairs, and I would always get orange juice because
Okay.
it's there, and I just love orange juice. She said, and she was like, Trinity, I'm gonna get you orange juice for Christmas. I said, bet, and she got me like this case of orange juice, and I was lit. You know what I mean? It was the best Christmas present ever.
And then what is orange juice for a year?
I don't know, but I will say, I will say that one of the brands I was talking about is sending me orange juice for a year.
For a year? What does that mean?
They're giving me like coupons to buy orange juice, like enough coupons, I guess, for a year.
That is amazing.
Now, will it last me a year? I don't know. That's the problem.
Oh, how much orange juice would you drink? Like every meal, like 5 times a day?
Now that I have like an endless supply, I usually drink. Man, it could be bad. Like 3 cups in the morning, like two or three, like for lunch to hold me over till dinner.
Oh my God.
I'm like, it's a problem. I'm like a crackhead for orange juice, basically.
I love orange juice.
Literally, it's so good. Like, and then the different flavors. Like, this is not an advertisement or anything.
It's okay. Let's advertise.
But Florida Natural has different flavors. I didn't know that. So when they sent me like, which one? This one's empty. I just use it for videos at this point. Pineapple banana, so good. Like, oh, dude. Like, I didn't know the orange juice lore.
Are you a pulp guy? No pulp?
No.
Some pulp?
God,
no
no.
pulp.
No.
Okay.
Like Mackenzie said, no pulp, low acid. So
okay, low acid. Okay. I'm a grow stand guy, so extra pulp.
Really? You like to chew your orange juice, dude?
Yeah, I'm a freak. I'm a fucking high acid. I want that fucking heartburn. I want the pain.
That heartburn is crazy.
Otherwise, I'll be like you and I'll drink a fuckload of it. Okay.
Dude.
Okay. When we get to slides and ladders, the teams are chosen and Drake ends up taking your place.
Right.
Well, now that I've talked to you, I thought everybody liked you. I thought you were doing work behind the scenes. Where did you mess up with Drake?
I didn't talk to him enough. So I remember right before that happened, I started talking to him because I looked over. I was like, dang, I don't know that guy. I need to go talk to him.
Why? What didn't you like about him? The cut of his
It's not
jib?
that I
What
didn't.
was it?
It's not that I didn't like anything about him. He hung around Sam a lot. So
Who's Sam?
I forgot her place. She had a pink hair.
Mm-hmm.
But he hung around her a lot in that friend group. So we weren't in the same friend group.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when the numbers started dwindling down, I was like, okay, I need to create a relationship with all these folk in here. And like, I barely talked to him before. So when he switched me out, he said, and they don't show this, but he was like, I don't even know his player number, but Trinity, I'll switch you out. I said, dang. I knew it though. I knew it. So and I was whispering to Mackenzie before he even made a decision. I was like, Mackenzie, I'm cooked. I don't really know this guy. He's gonna pick me. She's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. You're fine. I was like, and then sure enough, he did. I was like, yep, this is how I go out. This is crazy. So he switched me. He was like, Trinity, no hard feelings. I just don't know you. I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense. So
yeah, it's hard to be like, yeah. So you weren't like taking it personally.
No. And we're both from North Carolina. Like I grew up, born and raised from North Carolina.
We're in North Carolina. Just curious.
Winston-Salem.
I went to college in Winston-Salem. No
Really?
way. Yeah.
Wake Forest or what?
Oh, the School of the Arts.
School of the Arts. Oh my gosh. I think I know what you're talking about because I wanted to go there when I was younger. But so when we got switched out, I whispered to him, I was like, we're good. Like, we're all good. We're both North Carolina folk. Make Carolina proud or whatever. And then my mindset was I was going to have to bet on a team just like John T and all them three did. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
During catch, I was like, okay, if I'm willing to bet on somebody, I was just thinking in my head. But what happened was they left, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, okay, what's about to happen? The main producer comes in and goes like, hi, Trinity. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, what's about to happen? She's like, nothing. Just follow me. I was like, okay. They take me back to the dorm. I take a shower. I eat lunch. I take a nap. And then I wake up to her going like, Trinity, wake up. I'm like, okay. I was like, where are we going? She's like, don't worry about it. So I follow her again back to the white room. I enter the white room. It's just one bed there.
That's where you slept. I was so curious.
Yep. Slept in the white. I was in the white room for basically 24 hours.
Was that how was that?
I started going crazy a little bit, only a little bit, because as you're sitting there and there's producers at the door, right? So you're not like in there alone. They're like at the door, just watching over you.
Yeah.
Mind you, we don't have our phones. We don't know what time it is, right? So I'm literally just laying there staring at the ceiling. I'm like, I'm just gonna force myself to sleep. So I did, and I'm like, I'm gonna force myself to sleep, and it's gonna be the next day. I'm gonna rejoin the group, right? But when I forced myself to sleep, when the producers come in and he woke me up, he's like, it's time for dinner. I'm like, dinner? I'm like, what time is it? He was like, I can't tell you the time. I was like, okay, well, let me go to the bathroom. Because the bathroom when you're in the white room is in the outside, right? So I'm thinking if I can see if it's there or night, that means I'm close to the next day, right?
Yeah.
So I go out to the bathroom, it's nighttime. I was like, shoot. So I force myself to sleep again. I wake up again. It's a producer at the door that I had never seen before. So I'm like, okay, that means it's night shift. That means it's night shift, right? But then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I was just staring at the ceiling for hours. And I was just thinking about everything, life after the games, what I'm going to do like this. And at the time, my girlfriend, who I'm with now, we were just friends before, but I always liked her. I was like, you know what, this game, what it has taught me is to take risks. So it's like, when I get out the games, I'm just going to tell her I like her. And whatever happens, happens.
Wow.
So it's like, that time, yes, it was hard, like mentally hard, but I thought through so much when I was in the white room by myself.
So then how did you end up in Circle of Trust? They just like woke you up and you just ended up there?
So I woke up, they took me to an office building, and I'm like, why am I here? Like, what is going on? And at that point, there's like 8 producers in the room talking to me, just keeping me company. I was up there for like 4 or 5 hours. And then the dress people, I forgot what they're called.
The costumers,
Yeah, they came in with the little scooter thing with my stuff hanging there, and the squib was there. I'm like, what is that for? And, and they go like, oh, we just need to put the squib on you. I'm like, and the squib is the thing that like pops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it for like video effect to make it look like we're just continuing yesterday, or like what's going on? It was like, oh, we can't tell you. I was like, well, am I about to go straight into a game? It was like, we can't tell you. So they finally put on me, and then I go out, and they walk me right back up to the right room. I know what it is by this point because you can tell the studios or whatever. And then right when they open the door, they was like, but before that, they was like, okay, big reactions, like blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, and they open the door. I'm like, Circle of Trust, are you serious? In my head, I was like, okay, what is my strategy going into this? Because I've been separated from the group for 24 hours. I do not know what has happened. I don't know if there's any more allies. I don't know the beef. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know anything. So,
did they, when you got into Circle of Trust, did anybody give you a quick update about what happened?
Melissa tried to. I think her player number is 110. She tried to. So she came, like, first of all, I'm looking for Mackenzie to make sure she got passed. She wasn't there. I don't have time to grieve Mackenzie's loss, like the loss of my friend Mackenzie. Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, what I got to do to get past this game? You know what I'm saying? Melissa like beelines towards me, goes like, Trinity, this is what happened. People are beefing with Vanessa. This is what happened. This is what happened. And shoots the ladder. Perla got mad at Kate. And the producer was like, no more talking, please. No more talking. And they made her sit down.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then you're in the game.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy?
So my only strategy in that was because I didn't know anything. And in psychology, it talks about facial expressions all the time. I watch a lot of videos about like facial expressions, like when you're talking to somebody, like if somebody goes like this, they're usually hiding a secret or something like that. If they put their hands up like this, that means back away, or like this, that's inviting. So I was like, I'm just going to sit there and do the same pose the entire time. And it was literally this.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
And I was confused. It's not like I wasn't confused. I was really confused. So that was part of it, because I was trying to catch the beef that was happening as people are like arguing with each other. I'm trying to like catch up in my head, right?
Were these beefs like new between like Steven and Faith and Deja? Yes. Like, okay.
So new. And what they don't show is a lot of people were targeting Vanessa because she got a coin. I saw you do the interview with her.
Yeah, she got this advantage that she won't tell us about.
Right. She got an advantage that she still won't tell anybody about. So people are beefing with her, and Chris is saying, I put this on my kids like it wasn't me. So I'm like, what is going on? I was like, the only strategy I got is look confused, but also like, have you ever played 7-Up Heads Up in school?
Yeah.
What I would always do is have Heads Up 7-Up to not get picked, because I didn't want that pressure. I would put my feet out in front of me a little bit past the desk, but also hover over my desk, right? Because what that does is like psychology again. If you hover over the desk, people feel like, oh, he can feel my presence. He knows who it is. If you put your feet out past the desk, people are scared they're going to trip over your feet.
Ooh.
So I'm like, hopefully if it works. If it doesn't, oh well. You know what I mean? I never got a box. I never got to place a box on anybody's desk.
Yeah. Now, why do you think that player 412 AJ was so suspicious of you and ended up wrongfully accusing you?
She told me after the game, she was like, I just like, because we knew each other in the beginning. Like I said, I build relationships with everybody up at this point. So like me and AJ talked way in the beginning, and she thought like I put on her desk because she would never expect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I literally never did. And what they don't show is when I got up, I haven't moved that entire time. When I got up, my mic pack fell out. So they had to tell me to sit back down and get up. I was like, AJ, do you still want to pick me? Because this shows like I have not moved from this position ever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I still think it's you. But I knew it was Steven. So like when I'm standing there, I look past her and I say, Perla, it was Steven. Like I whisper, Perla, it's Steven.
How did you know it was Steven?
You could tell. You can kind of tell like he is a good poker player because he's clearly won 6.5 million, right?
Yeah.
But like you can also read like little stuff about him that he does a little bit.
Like
what?
what?
Deja said when he will I think when he would pick people, he would kind of get serious or whatever. But when he didn't, he would be joking around. Like that's a easy tell.
Yeah.
Right? But also once we get to the dinner scene, he did something in there. I knew what hand it was before I even asked to give me the black coin. But
wow. So Circle of Trust ends, and let's get to Shuffleboard.
oh my gosh.
You keep talking about how you're so good at everything. You're so athletic.
Here's the thing, bro.
Did you try to throw Shuffleboard?
No, I didn't. Here's the thing, and people think I thought people were going to think it's scripted, but that's not even a conversation. So what happened was, you remember X's and O's on the ground, like in the dorm there, you can see the X's and O's on the ground. Yeah. That was tape. So what they did, they pulled the tape up, and I wasn't even thinking, don't hit that, right? Because it's still sticky there from when it was down.
Oh.
Right. And they let us practice shuffleboard, but on the other side. So when I was practicing, it was going far. I was like, oh, I got this in the bag. Like, this is going to be easy. And then we picked the teams, right? And they go first. The girls go first. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, that, that takes the pressure. I slide it, and it stopped immediately. I'm like, what the? I'm like, I was like, what the heck? And Deja goes like, she whispers to me when I'm about to play Kate. She's like, Trinity, don't, like, you got to think of the tape. Like, the tape is still sticky right there. I'm like, oh, that makes sense on why mine stopped so short. So Kate goes up, she slings it across the floor. And in my head, I'm like, okay, avoid the tape, avoid the tape, avoid the tape. I do it. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. I let it go kind of hard this time. But then it stopped immediately again. I'm like, oh my days. Like, how do I keep hitting this freaking tape? And it stopped. The angle I'm looking at, I can't tell if mine's ahead or hers ahead because it was that close.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, I'm gone. I was like, I'm gone. Like, I'm gone. This is it. But the producer, it was so close. The producers had to come out and like take a ruler to it and all this stuff and then go back in. I'm like, oh. And Deja and Vanessa are like running to the side saying, Trinity, you made it past. Trinity, you made it past. I was like, guys, I don't know. But then we're like, me and Kate are just standing there or waiting. And I'm telling Kate, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I knew you were playing for your son, blah, blah. Because me and his son, so her son has a lung condition and so do I. I have 1.5 lungs. Like, I was born with 1.5 lungs. So me and Kate were kind of connected on that. Yeah. I was like, Kate, I'm so sorry if you like it. She's like, no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. And she got squared at that point.
So it's interesting because the final shot that we saw of the shuffleboard pucks, they weren't that close, it looked like.
But on the way we were looking at it from facing this way,
yeah.
Okay. The overhead view, it makes I'm like, oh, okay.
But they still needed to measure them. I mean, it looked. Do you know?
I guess it was for dramatic effect. I don't know to make us more worried. I don't know, but I do remember. Maybe I just made this up in my head, but I swear I thought I remembered the guy coming out measuring.
Yeah, I believe you. Okay, so we get to these tuxedos.
Oh yeah.
were you I think I have another soundbite from you.
I feel like Abraham Lincoln. Yeah. I feel like George. I feel like one of those rich people. I feel like Elon Musk.
Which I don't feel like anybody has ever said that they feel like Elon Musk and Abraham Lincoln in the same sentence.
That was
before.
the first thing. Well, I said Elon, or I said Abraham Lincoln because I remember the top hat picture. You know, growing up. I'm like, and then I said Elon Musk because I just watched before going into the games, Joe Rogan or something. I saw like a tweet of him, like a meme of him in a tux. So that's literally the first thought that came to my head. Like, I feel like Elon Musk. I feel like Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Right.
when did it get in your head that you might want to self-eliminate? Like when did it stop popping? When did it start popping up?
The moment they explained the rules when we were sitting at the dinner table.
Oh, so before that, you had never even considered it?
No, not at all. I was in it to win it, the entire thing. So, and I'm about to go in, like, because I'm a Christian, so I'm about to go into that stuff. But, so what happened was during the dinner scene, we get out, we're running out. You see me, like, running like this because I didn't want to slip and fall with the shoes because it's kind of slick, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm like running out like this. And then I try to run to Deja's spot where she sat because I was like, oh, that's the only chair. That's kind of cool. Like, I want that. And then Deja's like, no, I got this. I was like, okay. So I was trying to sit beside Vanessa where Perla sat. But Perla was like, no, I want this seat. I was like, okay, I'll just go sit beside Steven because I don't think anybody wanted to sit beside Steven.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, I'll just go sit beside Steven, right? So we're eating and having a good time. I'm not thinking, and bro, Squid Games, they're good. Because I'm not even thinking that there's going to be a game during the dinner scene. Like, for some reason, it skipped my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're eating, and then over the intercom, they tell us to tell everybody's story. They don't even show me telling my story in the dinner scene, which is kind of crazy. It looks like I'm facilitating the entire conversation, right? So over the thing, they tell us like, oh, like tell your stories, what you're playing for, who you're doing it for, blah, blah, blah. So everybody's telling the story. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool, whatever. And then the guard comes out and like goes to the middle and he said, your next game, everybody's like, oh my gosh. And it said the order you'll go in is the order on your napkin or the number on your napkin. And mind you, I dropped out of college and I'm dyslexic. So I couldn't find the number on my napkin. I was like, where's the number? Where's the number? And then Vanessa's like, I'm number 5, or what is it, 4 or 5, right? Yeah, I'm number 5. Steven goes like, I'm number 1. They're just like, I'm number 3. I'm like, I was like, oh, then I'm number 2. I was like, oh man. And then after they explained the rules, I was like, and that's when I started, because I saw Vanessa at the end, because me and Vanessa are really close, like in the game, and Deja was right there at 3. So I was doing my math in my head. I'm like, that means Vanessa has like a 50-50 shot, and Deja has like, right? I was like, well, in that moment, I just started praying. I was like, okay, God, what do you want me to do in this moment? I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And then the cameras cut because then they had to put our squibs on. So we had to take our top, like whatever, put our squibs on. And I'm just dead silent. And everybody is. And before that, everybody's like joking around, laughing, blah, blah. I'm like dead silent. I'm just like staring off. And one of the producers come up to be like, Trinity, are you okay? I was like, yeah. And she just walks away. And then Vanessa's over there like, can I get some water, please? Can I get some water? I'm like, how is this fair? I was like, dang. I was like, you know what? I was like, God. And like I said, praying through the game, I said, win or lose, Jesus, I'll still trust you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying that prayer since I played college tennis. Because I'll pray that before I play a game, right? Win or lose, I'll still trust him, no matter how this tennis game is going to go, right? Because college sports, you know, it's kind of like whatever. So I'm praying that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, and it's like, and what people don't understand, it's like a battle in my head. It's not like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this or do this. It's like my voice saying, like, Trinity, what are you playing for? Like, you're playing, like, you can easily win this entire thing. Like, you need to move your mom down to KC. You want to continue to do your nonprofit, do that full time, and also set your future family up because you know what it's like to be broke. Because I grew up my entire life really broke, like dummy broke, right? And even now, like I'm living paycheck to paycheck, like, but I'm making it work. As a man, you have to make it work. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go. You figure it out, right? So in that moment, I was like, oh, like there's like it's an intense battle in my head to where at the point, like I was lucky getting a headache. So I was just like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? Well, God's like, if you trust me, you'll like if you trust me like you say during this entire game, you'll trust me in the end of all this, right? I was like, okay, that's true. So I get to Deja. Well, I told Steven, I like I said, I clocked Steven really early. I knew the gold one was in his, I think it was in his left hand. But I was like, I need him to tell me which one's the black one, right? For some reason, to make it just solidify in my head, I was like, tell me which one's the black one. I was like, I know the gold one's in this hand, but just tell me which one's the black one for sure. He said, oh, it's in this hand. And because you could tell somebody's kind of lying because their eyes will point to which one's the correct one, right? So if I'm like this, I keep like, true tell, like, you know what I'm saying? So I clocked it. And he's like, are you for real? I was like, yeah, just give me the black one. He was like, okay. And we have 3 minutes to decide. Like, we have 3 minutes to negotiate whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And he was like, okay. And I chose the black one. He was like, wow. He's like, well, if that's that easy, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was joking around at first. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, again, it's like a battle in my head. After I chose the black one, I was like, well, now I can't go back now. Like, just at this point, I'm going to trust you all the way. I can't go back now. And I just start crying because it's so intense in my head because I'm like, I know what I'm giving up. I know I can win the 4.56 million. But at the same time, I know God got me. So that's when you see Steven goes like, you're not going to just tell everybody to eliminate, are you? I didn't answer him. And so I just get in the middle and I do the whole, I don't even do it. I just go like, I pull my hands out. I tell Deja, I was like, the gold one is in my right hand. Please pick the gold one. I was like, you're a single mom. I grew up with a single mom. I know how hard it can be. I know, like, if you win this money, you can set your people up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but Trinity, like, what? I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. And then other people are also trying to convince me, like, just don't do it, right? And that's when I turn around. And I basically say, they don't show all of it, but I basically say, guys, I'm going to be fine. Like, I tell them, like, what do I pray every time I do it before a game? They say, they say, win or lose, I'll still trust you. Like, they all say it because they hear me pray it all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, Deja, I'm going to be fine. Just trust me. She said, okay. And she chooses the golden one. I get the Perla. And low-key, the reason why I did this, I wanted Vanessa to win or Deja to win. I didn't really care for Steven because I knew he was I didn't know how much he won, but I knew he was a poker player. And before I was like, well, do you do this full-time? He said, yeah, I do it full-time. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I know he makes some type of money to do it full-time. You get what I'm saying? And Perla, what they don't show during the dinner scene when we're talking about all of our stories, I clocked because she was saying, well, she didn't mess up, but she said something that made me think, oh, she's okay. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One, she's a full-time model in LA.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to at least be doing something right to be a full-time model in LA. But also, she said, and no shame to her, like, I'm not shaming nobody for growing up like this, but she was like, she had a private chef in her school.
Sorry, what?
And I'm like, maybe it's a small school who had one like lady cook for. I don't know if she worded it wrong or what.
Yeah.
So when I was at the dinner stand, I was like, wait, what? And I was just like, okay, well that means these two are low-key okay. Like they're fine. Like they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I connected with Vanessa because she was trying to own her own boat, like do the lobster.
Yeah, to help women fish. Yeah.
Right. And she told me like earlier in the game, she was like, I used to have to lie on my resume and say I was a boy.
Yeah, I talked to her about that.
Like,
yeah.
well, that sucks. And I grew up with 3 sisters, right? I grew up in an all-woman household. My mom and 3 sisters. So it's like, if she can win this money, she'll be set. You know what I'm saying? And then she's a single mom. Like, so I was doing this for them too, because I knew like if I can, because my whole life I'm like, if I can make it easy for other people, I love that, right? So if I can help people in any way, any shape or form, I would do that, right? But not sabotage my own self. Like, I know I'm going to be fine. Like, I still work. Like, I wasn't actually dying Squid Games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can still work. And that's what you see me saying in the game. My bills are paid. My fridge is full of food, whether it's noodles or quesadillas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still eating. I'm still living, right? So I got to Perla. I said, Perla, just pick the right one. She said, Trinity, I always knew, like, I was going to pick the right one anyway, but blah, 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 blah. Right? And then I get to Vanessa. And this was the hardest part. Because me and Vanessa were so close, and they don't show it though. And we talked about our faith in the game. I said, Vanessa, please pick the gold one. Do not pick the black one like your last. Like this will be the end of the road for you. She said, but Trinity, like, what about your mom? What about? And Steven goes like, Trinity, what about your nonprofit? Like, you have the best story here. I was like, I don't care about the story. Like, I just care about. I was like, guys, I was like, money comes. I say this and they don't show. I was like, money comes and it goes. I was like, I bet whoever wins this money, if they're not smart, they're going to blow through it and they're going to have to figure out how to get it back. I was like, my nonprofit is going to be fine. It's going to grow when it needs to grow. I was like, my mom, she's going to be fine. We're going to get her down to KC at some point. You know what I mean? And then I was like, and Vanessa was like, Trinity, I hate that you're doing this. I was like, it's okay. Like, I'll be fine. And what they don't show is she comes around the table and gives me a hug before I leave or whatever. And she's so mad. She's so mad. She sits back down. She picks the gold one. I was like, well, and you see me go like, and they were explaining that like Trinity or whatever player 398, this is last. I was like, yep. I was like, yep. And I was like, okay, God, I'm trusting you at this point. And then yeah, now I'm it. Now I'm gone.
So your mom has MS too, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
How did your mom and how did the other people in your nonprofit feel about your decision?
Right. So, and I told Vanessa this when she was like, what were your mom think? I said, my mom knows my heart. She's not gonna be
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then my friends around me didn't know how I got out until they watched it back. So, and other than my girlfriend too. So my mom knew, my girlfriend knew, and my right-hand person in my nonprofit knew. And mind you, my nonprofit is very small, very small. We just started last year, 2 years ago. Like we just got a 501c3 and everything. So there's only 2 of us, right? Two of us to grind and get out. And I told her, and she was like, wow, that's actually, I love that. Like, I'd rather you would have, she's like, I wish you would have won the money, but at the same time, like, I get it. Like, she gets it, right?
Yeah.
So my mom, she's fine. I'm like, we're going to get her down. The one thing about me is like, I'm a hard worker. Whatever I have to do, I'll do it and get it done, right? So before the games, I was working like 3 or 4 jobs, even before the games. Or no, not before the games. Before the games came out, like on Netflix.
Yeah.
I got like 2 or 3, because I was gone for 2.5 weeks. Like, I didn't think I was going to be gone that long. So I just missed a whole entire paycheck and then some.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm behind. I was like, okay, I got to get more jobs. So I had like 2 or 3 jobs plus my nonprofit, which is a whole job in itself.
Big
So I was
time,
working
yeah.
on, I was working on that. I was working full time and all that stuff. I'm working at full time Chick-fil-A now, like 10 hours a day. And
Wow.
I quit the other 2 jobs so I have more time to focus on my nonprofit and stuff like that. So I'm still grinding. I love the grind. I love the getting at it. So we'll see where it goes.
So I'm just fully trying to understand. I do understand where you're coming from. So was it everybody's stories caused you to have that moment of prayer?
No, not really. What caused me to have that was like, and this might sound crazy if you're not a Christian. It might sound crazy if you're not a Christian, and I understand why. So up a competitor, I get through it. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. But for some reason in my gut, and when I was praying, it felt like he was saying like, this is the end of the road for you. Like, this is it. Like, I have bigger stuff planned for you. Like, this is it.
Okay.
Right. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay. But it was
it was just completely within you. It wasn't caused by anybody else. It was just like an inner type thing by God.
And I have peace about it. And I still have peace about it to this day.
So there's no regrets.
Let's say I won the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. Let's just say I won the whole thing, which people in my comments say, Trinity, you could have won the whole thing. Here's red light, green light. I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, after I done what I did, I reached so many people, and so many stuff happened where I get DMs saying like, oh, you caused my faith to get stronger. Like, oh, like one DM I got, he was like, Trinity, I was watching your episode, and the moment you gave up 4.56 million, he was like, I had a smoke in my hand and a drink in my hand. I was like, if this guy can give up 4.56 million and I can't even give up a drink, who am I? So he said, I stopped drinking that day, and ever since he hasn't been drinking. So
yeah.
And it also it's like the other connections. Like I just met Giannis from the Bucks.
What? You met Giannis?
Yeah, he DM'd me. He DM'd me on Instagram. Sorry, where's my drink? He DM'd me on Instagram. He was at 1 a.m. by the way. At 1 a.m. he DMs me and goes like, Trinity, I don't know if you know who I am. I said,
what? Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I was like, he's like, I'm an NBA player. He said, I'm an NBA player. I play for the Milwaukee Bucks. I said, I know who you are, right? He was like, well, I really love what you did in the show. I want to meet you. I was like, okay. So he flies me out to a game, me and my girlfriend.
He flew you out?
Yeah, he flew me out. I went to a Bucks game like a couple weekends ago. He flew me out. He said, first of all, he was like, I love what you did in the show. I want to meet you and all this stuff. Send me your number and I can, my assistant will set it all up. I said, okay, bet. So his assistant texts me and we get it all together. He invites me to a Bucks game. He puts me in suites. He puts me and my girlfriend in suites. He got us a hotel, everything. Then after the game, so the assistant comes and pick us up, right? The assistant picks us up from the hotel. And we're going in from the hotel. We go into the players' parking lot. So we like go into the stadium where the players all park. I was like, oh shoot, where am I at right now? Right?
Yeah.
My girlfriend, she doesn't watch basketball. She doesn't really know what's going on. Right? So
And you're like, this is the MVP slash he's won
I
the
was like,
fucking whole
you don't
thing
know
before.
who,
Yeah.
and she's so cute. She was like, before they told us they were gonna pay for our flights and stay, I was like, okay, I'm gonna text AJ from the game because I know she lives in Milwaukee. Like, we'll figure it out. And my girlfriend goes like, Trinity, what if he just doesn't have enough money to pay for like our stuff? I was like, girl, you don't even know.
Yeah, like we can literally look up his contract.
And we did. And she said, oh my God, I didn't know they get paid that much. I was like, Izzy, trust me. Her name is Izzy. I was like, trust me, they get paid. So, but we go to the players' locker room after the game. We're like waiting for Giannis at this point. We see all the other players come out because we're in the player garage. I meet them or whatever. I meet Giannis's brother. Giannis finally comes out after like 2 hours. And because he works out after the game, he has press and all that stuff. So he finally comes out and we talk for like 30 minutes about Squid Games and about everything. He's like, whenever you want to come to another game, just let me know and I'll set it up for you.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So it's like, what was that?
He's a big reality TV fan.
I asked him, I was like, why did you watch Squid Game? He's like, well, my family's in Greece right now because he's from Greece. He's like, I sent my family to Greece because I want my kids to grow up in that culture. And he said, so I just have some time on my hands. I was just watching Squid Games. He's like, and I saw what you did. He's like, when you were praying throughout the whole game, I didn't know if you were being for real or just playing it up for TV. But then when I saw what you did, he's like, oh, I have to meet that guy because I know he's a real one. So,
that's awesome. Yeah.
So it's like,
sorry, continue.
I mean, I was just going to say, so it's like my decision, yes, it might seem crazy, but also at the same time, like I said, I'm a Christian, so I trust God for everything that's going to come after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I really do. I really do. But he's a big fan of the challenge, and he'll like talk about Johnny Bananas, the best challenge player ever, and he'll like wear his merch and stuff. So yeah.
What the
So when
heck?
you're telling me this, that's why I was like, oh, so he likes probably a bunch of reality TV. Yeah,
I think that's what it is. I didn't know.
I didn't know beyond the challenge that he like was a huge fan. So that's this is amazing connecting the dots.
So people out there, you never know who's going to be watching. So be yourself, and things will come your way.
Rihanna is a big Brother fan. She follows like all these accounts and stuff. You know?
Are you serious?
Yeah, celebrities celebrities like reality TV just like us. You know? I know, it's so funny. So you do want to go on reality TV again, and you do want to compete potentially?
Yeah. So yeah, I want to do. They're coming out with a new show called Wonka, I think. So it's like a Willy Wonka version of Squid Games. I was like, I would love to do that. I was like, if I could just beat 456 people out or 450, whatever, I could beat 22 or 30. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. And then I also want to do Big Brother. I think that'd be fun. Somebody told me to do Traders.
Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, I would love to do more reality and maybe, see where that goes. So
how do we know you're not gonna quit again though? You know? How do you know you won't?
I don't think I will. I think in that moment that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I'm a competitor, and that's what Giannis said to me. He was like, when I saw you do that, I don't know even if I can do that. I was like, dude, you make 100 and something.
Yeah.
4.5. Come on. But he was like, I just don't know if I could do that. I was like, yeah, I mean, in that moment, I think God was just telling me, like, this is it.
It's a personal thing, though. It's a personal decision.
Right.
People are different, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I've really enjoyed getting your story today and hearing from you. And thank you for being so open and like sharing with us. And this has been a really great interview. Do you have anything you want to promote or talk about your social media at all or anything?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram, my nonprofit. You can find it in my Instagram bio, Recharge Missions. But also another player 263 Kelly, she started a GoFundMe for my mom to move down to KC. So if you want to give it that, you can, and get her down here to KC. So
yeah, guys, check that out. And for everyone else, this is the final Squid Game interview, but we have a bunch of other ones. You can check that out at youtube.com/realityalert and on all podcasting platforms. And head on over to patreon.com/realityalert. It's the Reality Alert holiday sale. Code HOLIDAY for 20% off all Patreon subscriptions. Business, right, Trinity? We do business.
Yep.
Bet. Let's do it. All right. Trinity, thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.